it's so rare. In the last 20 years, you can go online, you can look at Google John Tabacco, Fox News, CNBC. I have only ever on TV talked about stocks as a short. I find stocks that are overvalued. I bring it to the public's attention. And I hate to say it because you got to do the most research to take the risk to go short. But the reason they kept having me back on, because my research and my understanding, my knowledge, and my unique network of sources has always positioned me to kind of be right on these things. And I'm not always right. I don't give financial advice, but last Friday, what was it?
Monday, July 27th.
Okay, not last Friday. On Monday of this week, and I've been talking to you about Overstock for a year, went through some rough times, started coming out of it recently, and I've been talking about it for at least 6 months now, how it's a really nice looking company. They're in a good stage of going forward. On Monday, okay, I spoke about Overstock, and I want to remind you by showing you this. Here's what I said on Monday of this week about Overstock.com. Almost no possibility, if you know anything about markets, there's almost no possibility of Wayfair ever making money. So if that stock's $200, I think it's safe to say Overstock, with the fundamentals, the growth, and the tremendous innovation in their crypto division, I think the stock could easily be 100, and that's, you know, what I'm betting on. You figure out if that's for you, but take a closer look at it. If you're thinking about buying Wayfair or Etsy or whatever, look at Overstock stock, and you'll see that, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't know anything, but I know a good company when I see one, and if I didn't, I'd be shorting it, which I'm not. So it's rare I turn it around myself personally and talk about things that I think are going higher. That's like a rarity for me. I don't do that. In the last 15 years, I think I talked about one thing that I wanted to go long, and that was the macro market. When Trump got elected, before the inauguration, I was on Fox News with Neil Cavuto, and he said, what do you think? What do you like? And I said, you know, if Trump repatriates the money and he lowers the taxes and he starts cutting regulation, I think this market will be at 25,000. And he was like, whoa. He was like, I've never heard you say something is going up. You always say it's going down, and now why this? And I said, well, here you go. You know, 12 months to the day, Dow was at 25. Cavuto called me up, his producers, hey, you got to come back down here. You were right on the money. What do you think? I said, look, I think it's going to 30. And we were right on our way to 30. So I rarely talk about individual stocks going up, okay? So at 53 bucks, on Monday, I said I think Overstock's going to 100. And just to, you know, bring you up to speed, coming into today, Overstock is at $74, up 53.21, up 40% on the week, and down a little bit today because it's tired. It's been running all week long. These things gotta take a breath every so often. But Wayfair's 200. Absolutely comfortable saying Overstock is worth 100. That's what I think it's at least worth in the near term. Popped down a dose of options yesterday with some strikes in August, some 80s, some 80 options. So I'm thinking it's going higher here in the short term. There's a lot in there. There's also some short squeezing left in the thing. So keep your eye on it. You know, some of my friends are watching, following. Rita told me that she hopped on the bandwagon. I hope you made a couple bucks. That's a good win. And as I mentioned a little earlier, on Friday, we want to hear from you. You guys have been doing me a solid. You've been leaving comments, more comments. If you could share, if you're watching on social media, please share the stream. We got Ken LaCourte coming up next, okay? We're going to be talking about how Twitter is calling balls and strikes on First Amendment, who can express themselves. And they're also, you know, basically filtering the news for us now. And they, you know, have, you know, silenced these frontline doctors who had this, you know, this press conference to talk about hydroxychloroquine and other treatments that are working. So you got Twitter itself censoring news, and it's news. If people are out there and they're credible and they're doctors and they're licensed and they're saying things work, why can't we hear from them? Why would Twitter be allowed to tell us what we can listen to? It doesn't make sense with me. Squarespace, you know, you slide your credit card through the little white thing in the Squarespace, the app. Squarespace shut down America's Frontline Doctors website, so they won't let them take donations by credit card because they disabled their Squarespace. I know. Some of these things I say once, twice, 3 times in a show because people tune in and out, and I want the things that people have to hear, I want to be telling it to you. So if I'm repeating myself, my apologies, but some of this stuff bears repeating, that's for sure. And a lot of people are always asking me, you know, on the side, emailing me and saying, what should I do? My IRA, my 401k, I'm telling you the things that I'm invested in, and without getting myself arrested or kicked off of television, that's why I say I'm not a financial advisor, because I'm not trying to solicit you to invest in me or anything I'm doing, but I want you to learn something from the show, do your own homework, and hopefully, if you believe what I'm doing is right and you want to follow along, I'm happy to keep you up to date on all that stuff.